For nearly 7 years, Julian Assange refused to leave the Ecuadorian embassy in London, believing if he set foot outside the building, he'd be arrested and extradited to the United States. On Thursday, he got his "I told you so" moment. Police dragged him out against his will and confirmed he'd been arrested on behalf of the US. His detention was made possible by the Ecuadorian government's decision to withdraw his asylum on the grounds he'd been violating its conditions.
Mr.
Assange is linked to WikiLeaks and therefore interfering in the internal affairs of other states. The patience of Ecuador has reached its limits on the behaviour of Mr. Assange. He installed electronic equipment that was not allowed. He blocked the security cameras of the Ecuadorian mission, and he has confronted and mistreated guards.
Assange took refuge in the embassy in 2012 to avoid extradition to Sweden over a sexual assault case that has since been dropped. But his deeper fear was that he could be extradited to the US for his work with WikiLeaks. The most high-profile leak being the hacked files detailing brutal acts by the US military in Iraq and Afghanistan, including this incident in which Iraqi civilians were gunned down by a helicopter.
Light them all up. Come on, fire!
We've today received a warrant and a provisional extradition request from the United States alleging that he has conspired with Chelsea Manning in relation to the materials that were published by WikiLeaks in 2010. This sets a dangerous precedent for all media organisations and journalists in Europe and elsewhere around the world.
Assange plans to fight the extradition, but if he's found guilty, he faces up to 5 years in prison in the US.
Well, what we've shown today is that no one is above the law. Julian Assange is no hero. He is hidden from the truth for years and years.
But his supporters, who consider Assange a hero of press freedom, think differently.
The big injustice is the silencing of someone trying to shed a light on Western war crimes.
He looks really ill and quite weak, so to me it's a bit of a sadness.
His supporters followed Assange to a central London court on Thursday. There he was found guilty of failing to turn up to court 7 years ago when he was still wanted over the Swedish allegations. Julian Assange chose not to give evidence during the hearing. Instead, his lawyer argued that the WikiLeaks founder skipped bail in 2012 because he wouldn't have received a fair trial. But in handing down his decision, the judge declared that claim laughable, saying Assange's behaviour is that of a narcissist who can't get past his own self-interest. The Assange case is one that divides opinion. Those who think he's a champion of the truth and those who think by releasing sensitive military documents he was committing treason. But for now, his fate is in the hands of a UK court that must decide whether he should be extradited to the US. Sarah Morris, TRT World, London.